How to monitor Twitter for blockchain news, 3 crazy easy reasons to start. Crypto Twitter moves fast. Twitter has always been a sort of open system for global opinion aggregation. The cryptosphere is no different. In this short video, I am going to go through a couple of examples of how I like to keep track of what is being discussed and who is bringing new information to the table without having to comb through a massive, endless scroll of tweets from crypto Twitter. I'll do my best to remain agnostic, and to have a little fun. Crypto Twitter is actually very cool. Monitoring crypto Twitter can be too. Just a couple of days ago we saw Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey make some short and sweet statements regarding the original permissionless cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. True, he went on the Joe Rogan podcast not long before these tweets emerged, and had 1 or 2 strong things to say about Bitcoin, but apparently that was a warm-up. Let's get into the part about staying tuned. If you had learned how to monitor Twitter for blockchain news, you'd have a great setup to see these tweets before they hit videos like this. Needless to say, this was considered a big deal by several maximalists that we all follow, or at least that I have followed for a little while now. I won't take up our time naming all the names, but this gets me to my next point. The subject matter that came up after these tweets were posted is a perfect example of how monitoring Twitter for new subject matter can actually pay off. Even though @Jack is a super famous Twitter profile, and rightfully so, the example still stands. New buzz is almost always centered around a fresh topic, or fresh debate at least. The example in this case is a second-layer scaling solution for Bitcoin called Lightning, or the Lightning Network, or just LANE. Lightning Labs is a prominent leader in this space, worth checking out also if you have questions. Isn't it cool how quickly we can arrive at technical answers in 2019? What a time to be alive. Lightning Network news is crypto news, is tech news, is buzz. Etc. This is why alerts in a couple of areas would be relevant here, especially if I were spending the week off of Twitter, something I suggest for anyone who feels like they are going cross-eyed from scrolling endlessly. Staying abreast requires having some idea of what you want to stay abreast of. Let's say that for this example though, I knew already that Lightning was a bleeding-edge topic. I could have added a hashtag alert for hashtag Lightning and hashtag LANE as well, going ahead and getting notifications from someone in the field, let's say, Elizabeth Stark. Elizabeth Stark, at Starkness, is at the cutting edge of research into second-layer scaling for Bitcoin. She is an advocate for the tech and for the space, which is why it was particularly awesome that Jack Dorsey participated in a transaction on the Lightning Network with her. I was getting texts about this, but in case I wasn't, I still could have remained informed with my alerts. Let's get into that next. Twilert is a Twitter monitoring service that is affordable, easy to use and adaptive. I use it to keep up with the awesome nerds I follow. Twilert is a monitoring service that lets you set up parameters for automatic Twitter notifications. You can use this to monitor Twitter for blockchain news. Following a profile like @Starkness and having Twilert notify me every time she tweets is of course one option. I can also have Twilert notify me every time she tweets about hashtag Lightning, or even simply types the words Lightning or the acronym LANE. Now, even though @Starkness is a pretty cool example in this case, I can also just set up a blanket notification every time the hashtag Lightning Network is used, or even variations of it like an action hashtag, i.e. hashtag use Lightning, or even something broader such as hashtag second layer. I can set these alerts up for all the influencers that I follow, or even for the big boys in the room like @Jack. Twilert is also adaptive, as I mentioned. There are conditional operators that allow me to search for tweets that include multiple hashtags, for example hashtag brand new and hashtag second layer. Let's take a moment to nod at the maximalists in the room. I can also update my monitoring for tweets that include hashtag second layer but not hashtag Ethereum, just to use one example. I won't make any jokes about smart contracts or Turing completeness. There are lots of services offering this sort of stuff today. What I like about Twilert is that it is super affordable, the team is super approachable, and I can scale it back to whatever frequency I want, as well as drilling down on the specificity of the topic I am working towards staying tuned into. Use this to monitor Twitter for blockchain news. So, while it would have been difficult to predict that Jack was going to tweet about Bitcoin, you can see how by setting up my subject matter across a wider array, like Jack, Joe Rogan and Elizabeth Stark, I can begin to cover more bases with more specificity in a way that works towards my goals while remaining super affordable and effortless. It's a wild world out there, folks. Buy some BTC, follow the major players, be excellent to each other, and head on over to Twilert to give their trial a run. They're there to help if you have questions.